Hello, everybody. I'm gonna lick Daddy's hand now. Come sit. Hi. Hi. Oh, Mama Deus. My daddy's gonna talk to you now. Bye. Well, hello, everyone. Hello, you. Hey, you. How are you? So, there's my monitor. See, I found it. I found my monitor. I was looking up wood stools or folding stools in the background. Can you see? Because I like things that are compact and close up, and then you don't have to worry about them. You can put it out of the way. All right, so let's find out how many days we have until the end, till our move. So, computer, how many days until March 3rd?
March 3rd is in 45 days.
So it says in 45 days. So that is, I believe, from today. But today is almost over. So let's count. Today is the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. 15 plus 28 plus 28 is 43, plus first and second is so actually it's 45 days from tomorrow. So starting tomorrow, really, which is pretty much tomorrow, is 45 days until the move, which is a good indication of where we're at. So today I did pack. I worked on wrapping up. I think I may have said this. Oh yeah, I did say it yesterday. If you have stuffed animals and those things like that, for like your holidays or those little animated stuffed animals or anything like that, take the frickin' batteries out, because if they if they if they corrode and they the batteries kind of lose their stability and the acid starts to leak, then you damage the toy, and you'll never be able to use it again. As a matter of fact, I had someone who I hired to try and fix one of those little toys. Like it was like a king holding a heart, and it was like Ladies' Night or something like that. It was supposed to be playing like a Ladies' Night song, and he fixed it temporarily, and then it died again because it couldn't survive. Make sure that you fix those things so they don't corrode, and you can still enjoy them years later. So take the batteries out. If you buy them for Christmas or whatever else, take the batteries out. Usually you have to have a tiny little screwdriver to unscrew the battery compartment, because it's a very small Phillips head on the bottom. It's either a small Phillips head or there's like a clip. And usually it's one or the other. And it's usually a small Phillips head. That's what I've learned. So, make sure you have one of those. Keep one of those a little handy. You can get one of those adjustable Phillips. It's like, or that's like a multi-purpose screwdriver that has, like four different types of Phillips and four different types of flatheads. And those are good to have around just in the event that you never know what you're going to run into. So I was basically doing a bunch of those animals and wrapping them in shrink wrap so that they don't get dusty, and then I can repackage them and kind of organizing them in a way that'll work. I had them in one bin. I had to transfer it to two bins, but really the bin, I had a bunch falling over into other bins anyway. So I was trying to organize them to be for specific types of items in each bin. So like for one, it's got clothing and it's got those little talking stuffed animals, and like Christmas t-shirts and things like that. And then one's got more ornaments and like little trees. What else did I put in there? Yeah, so I kind of mixed them to be, this is this stuff and this is the other stuff. And that makes it where I can easily access it and know what's what in each box. I do need to start marking some of these boxes. I can't find my talking labels, my friend pen labels, but I need to find those and get those set up so we can use those. So I did that today. I am starting to go through some of the canned food that we have, and we're gonna have a little gathering this next weekend and try and get rid of some of that stuff. Stuff we have extra and stuff in the freezer and things like that, just so we can use it. You know what I mean? And we can, and you can enjoy it and kind of, share it with other people and just clean out our freezer. So I'm kind of a little bit rambling here. I haven't been awake for too long because I took a nap, and I kind of nap off and on sometimes because of my sleep disorder. Anyways, so that's kind of what I worked on today. I have been thinking about that presentation that I did and trying to think of ways to improve it. I did listen to a little bit about Martin Luther King today, but most of it I've already sort of known. And I know, unfortunately, there was a shooting at one of those rallies because there was a disagreement between two people. Been hearing more and more. Oh, so, what, I'm going to put this out there because I've got nothing to lose by putting it out there. So, I have a theory about why this stuff is coming out with Joe Biden and the classified documents and all that sort of stuff like that. So this is a theory, and call me crazy, call me Alex Jones. The lizard people are coming. I have no idea if there are lizard people or not. I think there's some people who are slimy. Does that count as lizard people? So one of my theories is that they are going to throw Joe Biden, the Democrats and the quote unquote intelligence community are going to throw Joe Biden under the bus for a specific reason, for two reasons: one long-term goal and one short-term goal. The short-term goal is to stop Trump from running for president again in 2024, at least, and be successful in any kind of capacity if they can control it. So if they can throw Biden under the bus and Democrats can say, look, we don't support a candidate or someone who's been in the presidency who's had problems with classified documents and with keeping things he wasn't supposed to keep. We don't support that behavior. We think it's unconstitutional. We think it's wrong. They shouldn't have that. They shouldn't have that ability to hold on to these documents for whatever reason. Then they can, say, well, we didn't support a candidate who does that kind of stuff. But the Republicans obviously don't care about that kind of thing. So they supported Trump if Trump was the nominee. So they obviously don't care about the, security of classified information like we do, because we got rid of even a sitting president because we didn't want to take a chance on that he was going to compromise our country. So they can make that claim and thereby hoping that they can stain or wound Trump. And they just use Biden to do it. And they don't care if they lose Biden or not, because Biden is aged and he's not really going to be he's not competent to run for president in the first place because he's not capable of running that office. Don't be confused that honestly, do not be confused that Joe Biden is running anything. If you really believe that, then you have some bigger problems that you need to probably address at some point. Joe Biden you can even just by looking, see that man talking, he does not have the competency to make decisions and clearly is not making decisions. That doesn't even require, a partisanship behavior towards Republicans or towards another party. You could just see that man is not mentally capable of communicating with people. But you send a guy who keeps flubbing up names, even like on today, he was singing happy birthday to, I think it was the granddaughter of I think it was one of Martin Luther King Jr.'s granddaughters or something, and he couldn't even remember her name. Do you think they're really going to sit? And he was at the party where it was her party, and or he was at he was at a celebration or a rally or a breakfast or something related to her, and they were acknowledging her, and he could not remember her name. Don't you think you should, take the effort to find out what her name is right before you sing happy birthday if you can't remember it? He goes, happy birthday, happy birthday to, it was like, what the hell are you doing, dude? And so would you send someone like that in to meet with the president of China or the president of any country to have a negotiation thing? If he can't remember their names, what makes you think he could possibly remember the standing policies? He's just a figurehead. That really, truly all he is, and he's an incompetent figurehead because he doesn't even come off as slightly intelligent. The man's been caught in so many lies in his career. I'm surprised he really believes his name is Joe Biden. Actually, sometimes I think he thinks his name is Jill Biden. Anyway, so that's the short term, is to damage Trump. The long term is to remove the ability for presidents to declassify information. Okay. And what that does is it protects what's considered the deep state, or the people who really kind of, turn the gears of government in their own way, because it's lobbyists, it's big power machines and things like that behind it. Globalists especially are becoming more and more obvious that they don't want there to be a country, they don't want there to be a one world. It's all that kind of stuff that it's the fantasy concept they try to sell to people, like in Star Trek. So Gene Roddenberry is, as entertaining as Star Trek is, let's be realistic, that it's not realistic to think that everybody should live under the same belief system, because no two people share exactly the same ideals. And as you grow further and further and you have more and more people, the belief systems are even that much more diverse. Nobody shares the same philosophies. And, Muslims have their philosophy, Jewish people have their philosophy, Christians have their philosophy. What they would like to do is eliminate religion and say, well, there's no religion. And then there's one world and everybody is doing all this, and we have one system of government that abides to everybody. And when you have one system of government that abides to everybody, there's no safe space. And I don't mean like, woke safe space. I mean, you can't go to a place where you can live your life where your ideals are shared, because everybody lives by the same standards. That's why people migrate, is because they want to live in environments where people share their philosophies. And a one world government would basically say, no, everybody has to live by the same philosophy. And that's where globalism is incredibly dangerous. And also it centralizes power to a certain group of people. Don't believe that you're ever going to, that 8 billion people, 9, 10 billion as it's going to grow or whatever, are ever going to be able to elect one person to be their global president or their global, advisory board or committee. That is ridiculous. We have enough trouble doing elections with 350 million people in the United States, and only 160 million participate. So don't believe for one second there's no reality to that. That power will be decided by people who make that decision, the ones who have the greatest lean and authority and influence, and it will not be made by the public. There will be no democracy in a one world government. They keep saying we've gotten past, petty things for they advertise on Star Trek. We've let go of revenge. We let go of this and that. No, you don't, because that's human nature. That's not like a political perspective. That's human nature, to have bitterness and to have jealousy and to have greed and to have desires for this and that. That's part of that is self-survival. It's not even just like, evil. It's just self-survival. Greed for life, for love, for the things that you want. That's part of survival. That's part of human nature. You don't just squash that. That's been going on since the beginning of time. And to believe it's like, well, those were bad things, and we squashed them, and we became pure, and all we cared about was exploration. That's a really beautiful fantasy, but that's not really reality. So, anyways, to get back to it, the short term is to prevent Trump by sacrificing Biden and saying, well, we would never elect someone. We even push out a sitting president saying, we don't want you to run again because we don't want someone who abuses their power as president to do this kind of thing. And then if Trump continues to run, then they'll say, but look, the Republicans are supporting this guy, and he did all that bad stuff, even though there's no evidence he did anything bad. There's no evidence that anything he had was not declassified. And there's a huge difference between Biden and Trump, as you probably already know. Trump had the ability to declassify, and Biden only has the ability to declassify documents. I think they said that are related to his work. So his own work that he's done, he can declassify the materials he's written, he's authored. But I don't think he can. But I know he can't declassify documentation written by other presidents or things that have existed in the past. But I know that. So I know he has more authority on declassification than like Biden did or whatever else or does. Except for now, Biden, of course, does have declassification power because of his position. But I'm talking about previously when he was VP. So they're going to sacrifice him. But the long term is to remove the power for declassification, because if they remove it, things like what happened on 9/11 come out, things like what happened on, which everybody's known for years, there was something very hinky about the Kennedy assassination. I mean, there is no way mentally an individual like Lee Harvey Oswald could have come up with that plan to kill a president. Just learn as much as you can about Oswald and realize the man had severe stability problems mentally. He was not capable of coming up with something like that. You would have to have a very special kind of set of skills. It's like the stuff that they sell in Mission Impossible. Okay, do you think Lee Harvey Oswald was Tom Cruise and could come up with that kind of stuff? I mean, really, do you think he was capable of creating that kind of a plan? Really? There was obviously involvement from the CIA and the FBI, and what was happening in my, sort of evaluation of the circumstances with Kennedy was that that Kennedy was going against what they wanted him to do, even though he was a part of the. So I believe that within the liberal part, they've been smart in some ways. I'm not going to deny they've been very genius in some ways, and they've used it to their advantage. But I think the origins of globalism and the origins of the deep state, as it were, as it's called, are originated in like the liberal party, what's called the Democrat Party. I think that's completely opposite of what they are, but and the foundation of it. But I think that's where the origins of the deep state globalism occur, is within that party, and what they ultimately want is one authority that's not questioned or allowed to be questioned. And as a result of it, Kennedy challenged the advancement of that in the United States society, because he was going to do things that they didn't want at the time. They didn't want to do it, and they killed him. Do I think that Jackie and some of those people were involved? I don't know if Jackie was involved or not, but I do think she knew what happened after the fact, and she probably lived very quietly afterwards, so she and her children would be safe, JFK Jr. and the like. And I think that's one of the things that happened with JFK Jr. is that I don't think he was killed. I'm not entirely sure what happened to JFK Jr., but I don't think he died. There's too many questionable things about his death. I think he conveniently disappeared. I don't think he died, though. There's just something about that whole thing that's very weird, that only 2 days after being in the water, in cold water, off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, that his body was unrecognizable. They had to identify them by dental records, even though they were still in the cockpit. And, there was exposure to a lot of, sea creatures and stuff was limited, but yet they were unrecognizable and they had to use dental records. I don't know. There's something very hinky about that. I have trouble believing that JFK Jr. Really died, if he died at all, that he died that way. But so the goal is to prevent declassification for presidents in the future, so that the deep state maintains more control, and any of the things that they do to execute in the name of their cause can be concealed and can never be shared with the public in the interest of, quote unquote, national security. I only do a one-hand quote because the other side is where my other hand is. Anyway, all right, well, that's it, I think, for today. I hope you guys have a great evening. 45 days till Destination Day, or till end time. That means we're basically about 6 weeks away. Little less than 6.5 weeks from move date. Definitely got to hustle, bustle, and get ready, because this thing is coming quick and fast and hard. Yeah, it's quick and hard and fast. Okay. All right. Take care of yourself. God bless. Be well. Be safe. Get good things done. Think good things. Have fun. Give your family a hug. And kiss your doggies. Bear. Lion. Come here. Look at the bear. Simba. Hey, Simba. Come here, baby lion. Oh, the good arch bear. Simba, come here, baby. Come here, Babylon. There's my Babylon. Look at that Babylon. I love you. My baby bear. Come on, baby bear. Baby bear, come here. Come sit. Say bye, baby bear. Bye, baby bear. A good boy. You guys take care. God bless.